Yeah, so I think like how Kool and Gang was talking about heaven at once, and in that song they were basically just saying that if we all be at peace and come together, that's an old song, Kool and the Gang, Heaven at Once. And I think that song is really about just us being together, having the ability to prepare for the future, using a peace that we have right now. Because, you know, when you talk about the armor of God, right? Mm-hmm. They say part of the armor of God are the shoes that prepare the way for peace. So when Kool and Gang was talking about that, he's talking about unity, you know what he's saying? He's talking about peace for you and me and, you know, the whole group, I mean.
For everyone.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah, but basically for ours, because people seem to be at war with us when we weren't at war with them.
Right. Do you think can you be in a war, one side?
Sure.
I don't think you could be in a one-sided war, because that means there's resistance.
What you haven't done is you have not identified the enemy within.
Right.
It was the same thing I used to tell my students.
Okay.
You fighting a battle, first of all, it doesn't even exist.
Right.
It's number one. But if you're going to be in a battle,
right,
identify the enemy.
The real enemy. And you always got to look at yourself
you gotta
first.
look at you. You have to pull from within first.
Got to look at yourself first. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think on this, I don't know if that was an EP or a short album or just a list of songs that Kool and the Gang did. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like I said, Heaven at Once is really about peace. And then a second song, Wild and Peaceful, is beautiful because it's wild yet it's peaceful. Like a lot of people, they think being tamed is peace. They think being weak is peace. They think being wild is being maniacal, all right, or being very, let's say, aggressive, right? When you think about somebody say wild.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
Who's to determine what's wild? That's the perception of the individual that's trying to manipulate you.
Right.
Or has manipulated over the years, for centuries.
But if the answer to that question, a real answer, is the creator. The creator, what's natural, I would say, this is my opinion, what's natural is what's wild. So just like...
But that's a fact.
Right, that's a fact. Right, exactly.
That's not an opinion, that's a fact.
So what's natural is what's wild.
Right, correct.
So my point is, that's what life is all about. One, I think they pretty much covered everything that life is about in two songs. Heaven at Once, when they're talking about basically bringing heaven on earth, through unity and peace. Well,
basically realizing that heaven
is earth, right?
Right.
Eden.
So basically realizing that. But here again, this just goes back to the manipulative. And some of it was basically the ignorant teaching,
right? That were perpetuated
and even facilitated,
right? Yeah.
Some of the ill structure,
right,
and the wrong way, if that's even a correct way to
but it's not by the design of the universe. It's
not by the design of the creator. And any time, it doesn't matter what it is, if you go against the design of the creator, this is why you have the problems that you have. You're going to have the issues that you're going to have. You're going to have somebody in their mind thinking that they're better, that they're more, that you're supposed to live their way, that they're supposed to, the terms.
Right.
They bring terms in it. And the only thing...
They bring conditions.
Conditions in it. And the creator doesn't give them to you. He asks you to not sin against him.
Not sin against you.
Not sin against you and not sin against the universe.
Right, exactly.
That's the three. Because if you do those things, you will have no problem with mankind because mankind gets it.
Exactly.
The problem is, if for lack of a better word, that mankind has not rose up.
Right.
Some of them have not realized, and if they have, they're still busy trying to fit into the what's the norm. They're not all the way there
yet.
You're
talking about, like I was thinking about this morning, you know, and we're gonna get back on topic. But what you're describing is what Christians will call lukewarm.
Yeah, correct. Because It's either you want, you know, I've taught y'all, and I live like that. The gray area is where, excuse me, but this is where shit gets in the game.
Right.
It's either yes or no.
Right.
It's either in or out. It's either up or down.
Right.
That realm that people have invented, created, substantiated for themselves, called the middle.
Right.
It's not a safe zone. That's where all the battle and the chaos is.
That's no man's land.
That's exactly. That is the true outlier.
Right. So exactly. So now that we're talking about wild and peaceful, right? Cool in the game. Like, I really think they were ahead of their time, or maybe they was just at the right time. So we can learn from them today.
Exactly.
Right.
Because nothing happens by chance.
Exactly. So they did their part. Maybe the people during their day may not have fully, grasped it, but we are today.
We did, but our parents were so busy trying to tame us.
Tame you, right?
To tame us.
Right.
And to make us workers.
Right.
And we didn't even keep looking.
Right, so y'all was just doing what y'all was.
We were doing.
Y'all was taught to do what you was told and be obedient. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta have the right.
Right. Okay, I have to have the right person guiding me to be obedient.
Right.
I have to have. Here again, it goes to scripture. Where it says, I had this conversation with my sister. She says that a woman must be submissive just automatically to.
That's not true.
And her husband or her man. I said, look, they tells you to be submissive to a man of God. To someone that his footsteps are ordered by the Creator. He's doing, and he loves the Creator first.
Right, and
that's what that means.
And the reason why is because, right, like if I'm the man, and we know,
not
we just
if
saying,
you are
right,
when
I'm saying like
in a relationship.
Right, I'm just saying a man in a relationship, right? If I'm focused on Yahawah, if I'm focused on my one true Creator and my design. And I'm operating out of love, which has no conditions, and I'm bringing peace everywhere I go.
It can't go wrong.
Then I'm not leading my woman.
No.
The Creator's leading
her. The Creator's leading her.
And vice versa.
Exactly.
Right? So.
But she has, the support factor has to be there. Because she has to believe as well. You have to be evenly yoked.
Right, you got it. Exactly. So this is my question now. Cool in the game, right? Heaven at Once, which we said.
Way ahead of their time.
Way ahead of their time. Heaven at Once they're talking about unity for everybody. They're talking about peace. And they're talking about providing a better tomorrow for our young people.
Correct.
Not just being selfish and say, well, you know what, I could pollute the earth, right? Because I ain't got to deal with it.
Exactly.
Right?
I'll be dead when that happens. You hear people say that all the time.
But and then they have wild and peaceful, right? Which wild and peaceful meaning and both at the same time when you're wild and peaceful. And
but wild is something that somebody else has labeled us.
Right, but what's natural, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm feeling they really meant by that. Like natural, raw, yourself, who you really are. So, like talking about the origin, like your real intent and purpose and all of that. So what I'm saying is, if you said your parents, and the parents back in the days, I remember from my grandmother and older people working hard, you said they were trying to tame y'all. So if it's wild and peaceful, then maybe it is tamed in war or tamed in disease.
Well, yeah, with taming comes with friction, and it comes with resistance, and it comes with somebody telling you to stop doing what you feel you should do or you want to do for you.
Right.
It comes with somebody telling you conform. It comes with somebody telling you don't look like that.
Right.
Don't say that. Don't walk that way. Don't sit that way even.
Right.
No, don't lay down like that. No, don't talk like that. Don't say that. You shouldn't even be thinking that way. Those are the things that used to come out of our parents' mouths.
Right.
How somebody could tell you what you need to know?
Right.
That was a big thing for me when I worked at USDA. They would come down with certain things and only tell you certain information. I said, well, something's missing. You don't need to know basis. I told them, don't ever call me in another meeting and tell me what I need to know. I told that to GMs, 14s and 15s.
Wow.
Don't call me in a meeting. Then I was just a little GS, what they call it 4/6.
Right.
Only had 6 steps behind me and 4. Maybe I made the 5, don't remember. But you called me in a meeting, help with a transition, and then there were things you were leaving out, and I saw through that, so I asked a question. And your question to me was on a need-to-know basis, then don't call me.
Right.
In a meeting. I can't speak for anyone else.
Right.
and tell me what I need to know.
Right.
Now later they called me and said, hey, you know, we apologize. I got all I needed to know, and that way I was able to help with the transition of
I could do
the
better
computer
with the
systems
right.
going from 4-phase to IBM.
Right.
But you want me to do something, and you want me to be stumbling around in the dark, and you got all the information. I'm actually doing the work.
Right.
I'm the operator of these machines.
Yeah, I'm in the game. I got to know the plays.
So exactly.
I got to know the...
But white folks so busy telling us, you don't
back
need
then,
to,
right.
Yeah, back then, you don't need to know that. Just do this.
Right.
Just do that. Which that trickled down from our parents to us.
Right.
You know, keep in mind, I'm 60 years old.
Right.
Okay, so imagine if my mother was doing it to me, what her mother did to her, and even what was done to my grandmother, I found was more of a rebel than anybody. Because when they told my grandmother about going back to Mississippi about the land with the enemy, my grandmother said they fighting for it. I don't want, just let them have it.
Right, because that's not even what it's about.
It's not. I don't want to be put on a reservation in the spot where I can't do what I want to do.
Because we Native American.
Exactly. That's my mom's mom. Right.
You know what? People don't really think I'm Native American just because I'm super dark, but they have no idea that Native American is all shades.
It's all shades, and that was on television. It's not real.
Yeah, that's not real.
Because my grandmother was light skinned.
Right.
Okay, but her father was dark.
Oof. See, they have no idea. So, this is my thing. Now, coming down to Wild and Peaceful, men. Why? That's why I don't get why men cut their hair, because I feel like that's the complete opposite of being natural.
But
and
that
raw.
is a way of weakening a man. That is a way of weakening a man. They tell the story of Samson in the Bible,
right.
But Samson too wasn't a white man.
Right.
Okay, they make it look that way. Okay, but his strength.
It's Hebrew.
Exactly. And were Hebrews white?
No.
Okay, anyway, so anybody that near the equator. But anyway, so they tell you that parable, but they don't show you the real Samson.
Right.
So in the 70s when they started growing their hair, and it was a bush then.
Right.
They call them afro.
Afros, right.
You know, it trickled. They then too wouldn't hire them, and they did all the same things then. You know, it got progressively worse because our communities were so close knit that it didn't matter if a white man didn't hire you. We had black business owners that would hire you.
Right.
But then when the black business owners and those who own property in the communities and businesses were told at some point, oh man, you ought to be living better than that. Move over here and move your business.
Right.
So that moved out of the community.
But it was also so a lot of them got persuaded to move out.
Yeah,
but
it's like the grapes at the top of the tree.
Right. Oh yeah.
Aesop's fables.
Right. So you really wanted, you as a businessman, you wanted more too.
And they showed you more, but they had a string attached to the more.
Right.
They just kept pulling the string, and once they got you all the way out of the community, exactly, they snapped the string.
Right. So that's my thing. That's why I don't cut my hair. And being wild and peaceful, that word "and," if you know, especially if you go into law, "and" means both, right? So it's not either or, so it's both, wild and peaceful. I feel like part of that is just trying to be as natural as possible and keeping the peace. I mean, even if you have...
Well, first of all, if I am going along my way,
right,
and I am not bothering you,
right,
where's the friction to that? If I have hair, I don't.
Right.
What makes me wild is the fact that I won't do what you want me to do, when you want me to do it, how you want me to do it, and as long as you want me to do it.
No, that makes you an enemy. That would be somebody's perspective, right?
But wildness always makes you an enemy to the person that's trying to tame you.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So you just saying this person is taming me.
Yeah.
They intend to tame me.
That's the intent.
So I got you. I thought you were saying like wild period, because I was about to say, we just, wild is just being natural and raw.
That's why I say I don't. You know I am about words. Words have weight. My grandmother's told it to me. I say this all the time. I've told it to professional people, walking, riding, friends or foes. Those are the two best books I've ever read, and they weren't written.
Right.
Is basically, and even though they did conform, and yeah, we had to, they cut our hair, they straightened our hair, the girls, they cut the boys' hair, made sure it stayed cut and well groomed, and I did it to y'all.
Right.
Because that's what was done to us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Passed down. That's
it was
what
just,
you knew.
Exactly. Because, well, what we live is what we taught. We learn by exposure.
Exactly.
And long enough to know that to be well groomed was the thing. You had to be well. But what's groomed? If I brush my teeth and go out here butt ass naked,
right?
Why should it bother somebody?
Right. Especially if you're not putting it all.
Exactly.
Trying to force them to.
I'm not forcing anybody to get out their car to get naked.
Right.
I brush my teeth because I don't. I may come along somebody don't want to offend them with salted breath. But even if I choose to.
But in that point though, that's about your community, right? Somebody can say like, look, like you said, look, you be in a naked community, and they have like new communities.
They do.
But that would be my thing about.
But that's somebody putting a boundary on you. That's a governing.
Right.
That's somebody saying you can only be nude 6 blocks to the west for 6 blocks.
Right. But at the same time, I do understand that because in this community, we don't want to experience
exactly.
that. So look, do yours over there, and we're gonna have peace.
But that's not a hair thing. That's
Right.
That's offending society.
Right.
But we talking about what we were talking about, which was why do they
cut their hair?
Why is it mandatory? When we were coming up, it was supposed to be a grooming thing. We were supposed to look a certain way because that made us fit in.
Right, and I'm not saying nobody shouldn't. I'm saying whatever is your thing, do it. But you shouldn't look down at somebody.
But you should give your child an option. I didn't give y'all that option, and that was my bad.
Right.
But I hear again, I did what I was taught. My brother kept a haircut every 2 weeks. We brought him when my mama couldn't bring him because he was younger than us.
Right.
Just first haircut was a big deal. Took pictures, kept the hair. And I didn't even think that why are you keeping hair in somebody that you got to get rid of it.
Right.
We kept your first locks.
Oh yeah. You do. You always keep the first locks.
So why am I keeping it if it? I don't have to have it. What's the purpose of it? And then by the same token, my mother did not throw hair away. She burned it.
Right. We don't throw hair.
We don't throw hair away.
We burn our hair.
Even when at the shop, she scooped up my little brother's hair and brought it home.
Right. So that's for another day.
Yeah, but it's all about making somebody conform.
So, but they were on point with being, having that once and also being wild and peaceful.
Yes.